Be sure to check out my Veve and Omi investors group in the description down below. Together we build generational wealth and go over everything you need to be profitable in the Veve markets. Yo, what is going on, y'all? I'm Cavell Anderson, and we are back with another Veve and Ecomi video, man. And in this one, we're going to be having a serious conversation. This is going to be a big one, and I really want you all to be involved in this one a lot in the comment section because I want to hear your thoughts on things. Because yeah, this is going to be deep because this is going to be one of those things that obviously the fudders in the community, they're going to cause a lot of FUD about this. But then I think that this is going to cause a great conversation, and that's what this is all about. This is a new space. We're all learning it. The whole world is learning it together, and most of the world still don't even know the value of these things and the fact that they're all not harmful and just all the information that's needed to understand NFTs. So, this is basically that company. If you didn't see my last video where I was talking about the how we're likely to have interoperability because it already exists with DC NFTs, this is the blockchain. The homie K sent this to me and he's like, uh-oh, like they're gonna start going crazy. So yeah, before we jump into it, be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe, turn on notifications so you stay updated with everything, and let's jump into it. So check this out. So as you can see, this is Hello K's. This is the Justice League, and it was minted and registered on HRO December 21st, 2021. So these NFTs were minted before Veve. So technically, this company beat Veve to being on the blockchain, to being on Ethereum's blockchain. So this is interesting, and this is going to cause a lot of FUD, I feel like, because people are always concerned with mints, with when it was minted on a blockchain and stuff like that, and that just leads me to have to question: is the blockchain, is when we got on the blockchain that big of a deal, or do we collect the items, or are we collecting things just because it's on the blockchain? Because from my perspective, it's like a database, right? Let's use Walmart. Like where you sign up for Walmart's special premium program and you're in the database, right? So, or the items, like let's look at the items. The items in Walmart are in a database. Do we really think that this bottle of bleach should be more valuable because this got put in the database a few seconds before this second bottle of bleach? Like, I mean, that might be a bad example, but hopefully y'all get where I'm trying to go with this. So essentially, all the blockchain is keeping records. This is record holding. I think the important thing about NFTs, in my opinion, is the fact that it's on the blockchain, provable to be the legitimate thing. I think that that's where the value comes from. People are trying to take little key points, basically the equivalent of key items in a database in the order that is in a database, and add a whole bunch of extra stuff to it. I don't think that that's the job of the blockchain. And I don't think that value should be determined by that aspect of the blockchain. The fact that it's on I think good items and items that people desire should be put on the blockchain. It should be put on the blockchain, and then the companies associated with this, or the companies releasing these things and stuff like that, they should release guidelines and stuff like that to determine value. I think that the value should be determined based on the items and not the technology behind it, because people are making a big deal about technology. Like when we're talking about NFTs and stuff like that, this is all the technology. That's like me saying, my website is more valuable than your website because my website is programmed with PHP and your website is only programmed using HTML. So it's really it really has no functionality. It's just all, and if you're not a nerd, if you're not programmer talk, one is like front end and then the other's back end. And then there's a whole process behind developing something on the back end than it is if it's just purely a HTML website, which is the front end. But that is just some quick nerd talk. The point that I'm trying to make is no one walks around talking about, oh, well, what's that website programmed in before I use it, before I tell you if that website's valuable. No, they look at the value that the website's offering. It doesn't matter what it's programmed in if it actually works. Is your website fast? Do I gotta sit on your website all day before I can go and click things? Can I buy something and does the security feel safe on this website? I don't care what it's programmed in. It could be programmed in the worst language of mankind or the very first programming language. Like literally, it could be a file with just zeros and ones. I think that's pretty much everything. But y'all get my point. It can be whatever as long as the final product works. And I think that's what this NFT technology is going to get to. It's going to get to a point where people value things over just blockchain data and information. I think people are trying to put way too much weight on when something was minted. Like, I don't think that's that big of a deal. I really don't. I think that I was in a space yesterday and people were kind of worried about, like when, like, does Veve's mint numbers actually match when it was minted on the blockchain? It was a huge debate about that. And I mean, this is going to be a concern for some people, but in my opinion, Veve's is the one that counts. Veve is the one that released this product. Veve put it on the blockchain, so that's proof that it's from the licenser. Now, the information on Veve is the information we go by. It's really that simple to me, but obviously, I'm no one to decide what people follow. I'm no one to, like, listen, I don't believe the technology is a big deal, but if somebody wants to say, yo, this was put in the database first, that's more valuable, if that's what the market is going to respect, I'm not anyone to say that the market shouldn't respect that. I just don't think that is logical personally. That's my personal preference. I don't think that is logical to determine value based on, oh, this was put in a database a second before yours. You clicked the button a second before me, and yours was put in the database quicker. That's like, I mean, no, we both have the genuine thing. We both have the genuine thing. We both we both gambled and took a chance on Veve, and we got these mint numbers, or we paid for this mint number on Veve. I think the Veve platform should determine that value. But then again, I've also had arguments where it's like, do we actually respect what Veve values things at? So this is where the debate and conversation comes in at. Because when we go back to the common and secret rare debate, you all know that I feel like the common will be more valuable eventually, mainly because this is the original cover. Like, yeah, people argue that, oh, but the secret rare cover is inside the comic book. That is not, when people think of this comic book, you tell somebody in the real world or the physical world about that comic book, what comes to their mind is the common. It's never the secret rare that comes to a collector's mind. Someone who has spent millions of dollars on this, someone who loves this, when they think about this, they think of the common. It's just that simple. You can't debate this. It's that when they think of that comic book, they think of that. So that's where that's where the conversation comes in at. Because on one side, I feel like Veve should determine these things, but on the other side, it's like, do we respect Veve? Because if we respect what Veve wants, type of thing, then that means secret rare should automatically win out because the rarity is greater. So this is where the debate gets a lot harder, man. This is where I don't actually. This is where this is how my mind works, y'all. I know a lot of people, like, when I jump on this channel, usually I'm well thought out. I understand my stance on things, and it's rare. Like, but this conversation is something that's much bigger than me. This is a conversation that I'm still trying to understand, wrap my head around, and get everyone else's opinions and thoughts on, so I can make up my own mind about how I feel about this. And is there going to be different rules? So let's say, like, because I also think that the reason that Veve, like, when it comes down to rarity, yes, the rarity is more valuable. There's less additions and stuff like that. But is that what Veve actually intended? Because from a business perspective, Veve makes secret rares, like when it comes down to the comic book, secret rares, they make those the things that would normally not sell. And then they make the common the thing that would sell instantly because of what it is. So they take the most valuable thing and they make it common because they know everyone's going to want that. So they want to give as many people a chance to get it as possible. Then the secret rare, it's going to be less, it's going to be harder to get that. But that's just, in my opinion, they make the secret rares like that just to give the secret rares a little value. I think that without it being labeled a secret rare, nobody would want it because it's not the genuine artifact. It's not the original. So without that tag secret rare, without less edition, I think that Veve has to attach a lot of gimmicks to secret rares just for it to be valuable. As opposed to the common, it's going to be valuable no matter what. So that's my debate on that side of things. But on this side of things, it's like, it's tough because, like, I don't think the technology should determine. I think that Veve, the information that's on the Veve platform, when did it come to Veve, is what should matter. So yeah, this is the conflict that I'm having right now within my own thoughts, within some of the concerns and stuff around the community, and about the FUD that's going to come from this as a whole. Like I said, another company beat Veve to the minting as far as DC goes. Justice League is already on the blockchain, and DC it's already got there before Veve did. So is it really just about who comes first, or is it about the item? Is it the fact that Veve is the first company to release statues? They're the first to release statues. They're the first to release golden moments. They're the first to release, is it about, I think that it should be about what it is that you're collecting and the information that you bought it from Veve. So that information through Veve should be what's important. I don't really care about the database or the technology behind it. I think a lot of people are trying to dive deep into the technology about surrounding this stuff. In my opinion, things advance. They don't go back. Like, things advance. What's simple is looking at the information on Veve. Now, trying to read through a blockchain, be real analytical, study the millisecond that something was released compared to something else. Like, if people want to dive that deep, that seems like it's going backwards to me. Like, we don't have to do that much work anymore. We can just go look on Veve's analytics, and obviously they're going to keep improving this stuff. We can go now, look on Veve analytics and see what that says. Like, the blockchain data should not really matter. That's like putting a grocery store item on a website, and then all the information of that, like the entire history, you also list that as well. I don't need to know what farm this fruit came from. I don't need to know what farm it came from. I don't need to know what route it traveled. Like, if this fruit traveled less miles, that makes it a more valuable piece of fruit. It's like, are we really finna get this technical? Is that the route that we want to go with this? Or do we want to keep it simple? The information on Veve, we have mint numbers, we have rarity, like, we have the date, like the dates and times this was released on Veve. Like, we have all this information. Are we going to use this information to determine value, or are we really going to get real analytical with it and really break down, oh, this traveled this far, this was here a millisecond earlier on the blockchain, but on Veve is this, so now we got to subtract this from the Veve number. Like, are we really doing all that? Like, I guess that's the conversation that I want to have. How are we going to determine what's valuable? And not even just us, because this isn't just a Veve question. Well, it might be if Veve dominates this scene this hard. As hard as I think Veve is going to dominate this scene, it might just be a us thing that matters. But this is for the entire NFT space, the entire NFT space as a whole. I feel like this is a conversation we all have to have. Are we going to prioritize mints, or or is the item valuable? Is it the items we care about, or is it the records? Do we care about the records, or we care about what the actual item is, and the platform that released the item, and the licensor, and where they released the item at? Like what are we respecting here? I guess this is the conversation. So let me know y'all thoughts. Be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff, and yeah, I'm gonna catch you all in the next one. Peace out, y'all.